I'm AJ.
I'm Satin.
And welcome to Rooted in Real, where genuine conversation meets grounded perspective.
Yay!
Fourth episode of our podcast. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Okay, so listen, I wanted to tell you one more thing about friendship. I know we're not supposed to be talking about this anymore, but I had one more thing to say.
Okay, go ahead.
Longevity does not equal loyalty.
That is correct.
It does not. So a lot of people feel like that they've had a friend forever.
Yes.
That they've been in my life since we were 15. I can't get rid of them. But that person drains you every time you see them, and they never pour back into you in any way.
That's right.
And that's not just monetary. That could be emotionally, spiritually, anything. Like they are just never there for you, but you're always there for them.
That's right.
That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you've known them for a long time. But also you have friends that you might have just met. Like I have two friends that I met from work.
Right.
Aisha, Tiana, I don't know. I can't even remember when I first met them. I can't remember when they even showed up. It just seems like they've been seamlessly in my life for a long time.
Like us.
Yes. And they're both at the top of the list of my friends because they have shown me loyalty. They have shown me that they're there for me. They have asked me how I'm doing. We talk about their problems. We talk about my problems. Like it is not just a one-sided situation.
It's been a give and take, yeah.
Give and take. I told Tiana I wasn't going to do anything for my birthday a couple of years ago. And she was like,
that's not gonna work.
So we went somewhere.
Let's celebrate
she was like, no,
you.
we're not doing that. You're not gonna do absolutely nothing.
That's right.
So I mean, I'm just saying, longevity does not equal loyalty, and you should not keep them just based on the fact that they've been in your life for a long time.
That's right.
Or just not trusting people just because they've been in your life for a short time.
Right. I think it's important, as you said, to evaluate those friendships. And if those people have been with you for 10, 15 years or, maybe even just 5 years, and you notice that in every interaction with them, you feel physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally drained, then it might be time to cut the cord and just go ahead and say, cut the losses and be like, all right, well, that's it.
Agreed. Okay.
All right.
Moving on. That was my last thing. Longevity does not equal loyalty. Remember that.
Yes. Good point.
I feel like the Lord gave me that, honestly, because I just I said I wanted to talk about friendship, and then I just thought of that. And, I don't think of nothing. I think the Lord gave me that specifically for somebody, for me, for y'all, for somebody.
That's right. Well, look, the Lord is going ahead and maturing you, and you're growing in the Lord. Those words of the week at church are helping.
Ooh, yeah, that was something.
Oh, words of the month.
It's words of the week.
Okay,
so
words of the week.
Because each of us do a word each week. So,
okay.
And mine this week was peace. Now I'm gonna start putting those on Facebook so y'all can see them too.
Yes.
I'm gonna do it so y'all can see what I'm doing.
Yeah. Because she's coming out of her shell, guys.
I want my jacket so I can cover up, but it's okay. I'm out here.
As long as we connected, you're gonna always be out. You're gonna be out.
Okay. So here we are today talking about the 5 love languages.
Yes, the 5 love languages.
So to make our episodes a little bit shorter, because we realize that we talk a lot.
We realize that I talk a lot. I mean, that's not really anything new. Anybody that watches this that knows me know I talk a lot.
Yeah. So
I also talk too fast and talk too much.
I do talk too fast.
Slow it down on YouTube. Like I'm not adjusting myself.
Just bring it down a little bit.
Just bring it down.
So we're gonna try to do the first 3 that we have on this article.
Right.
And then we'll talk about 2 more on our next episode and a few more things.
Right.
Okay? Buddy, we're not playing with that right now. Go put that back up. We're not doing that inside the house. Go put that back up. Go watch TV, please. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm somebody's parent, so
Yeah.
Hey, can you go play for a little while? I'll come get you, and then I'll help you with that in a little bit, okay? Okay, go ahead. That's my 4-year-old, almost 5.
Yes.
Anyway, okay, so our first... the thing about the love languages.
Yes. The five love languages are acts of service, quality time, receiving gifts, words of affirmation, and physical touch.
Yes.
And we both looked it up, and the predominant love language for men is
physical touch.
And
then words of affirmation.
Yes, and for women, that is words of affirmation and quality time. Quality time being the number 1.
Upstairs.
And so let's see. Also, she did mention that we're going to do 3 this episode and 2 the next episode. Those 2, we're also going to give you some tips on how to discover what your love language is. Yes. Because a lot of times you believe it may be quality time when it may be acts of service. And so we'll give you some tips on that second episode.
We sure will. Okay. So the first ones we're going to talk about is words of affirmation, quality time, and receiving gifts.
Yes.
So this article that we've gotten, words of affirmation is a love language based on spoken or written expressions of care. People who resonate with this love language feel loved through sincere compliments, encouragement, appreciation, and gentle reassurance. They often notice tone and wording more strongly than others because words are their main emotional pathway.
That's right.
This does not mean they need constant praise, but they do feel closest when love is clearly stated. Examples include, this is important, thanking someone for their effort, telling them you admire their character, or reminding them that they matter to you. A thoughtful text, a supportive message before a stressful day, or a heartfelt note can have a lasting impact.
Yes, that's really good.
Go ahead. I think a lot of people think words of affirmation means that I just want you to tell me that I'm pretty all day.
Yes. And I was actually going to kind of piggyback on that and say that a lot of times people that require words of affirmation as their love language, the other party in the relationship or other people, like their friends or family, feel like they are very needy. Like, why do they always want me to say something? Yeah, why do I always have to tell them that I love them? Why do I? And sometimes that it is a line that you can cross. But I think when you have words of affirmation, again, you might not know what your love language is. And so, therefore, when you require it, you do feel like, oh, maybe I'm being too needy.
Yes, I'm too much. I'm too dramatic. I'm too sensitive. I'm too emotional. Because I want people to tell me that they love me. And it's really not just that, oh, you look good in that dress today. Like, it's not always about that, but that is a form of saying that somebody looks good. Like, if I did my work and I got my hair done and Satin ain't even say nothing about my hair, I might be a little like, dang, you didn't even notice. You didn't even notice I sat in that chair getting my hair done last night.
Look good.
Thank you.
But, side note.
Words of affirmation.
Side note to that is also along with words of affirmation is not trying to lump together a group of people, but I feel like Black women are king of kings, queens of queens when it comes to words of affirmation. And that's for anyone that they see. If we see you out and you look good, okay, queen, you know what I mean? Like
suit.
We make sure that we uplift, and that's just part of our DNA. And I just wanted to say that as a side note because you see that all the time. You see random people out. And I think about that, and I don't know if it's something that, you guys can tell us in the chat. I don't know if this is something that we just innately do, or if it's just like cultural or what. But I mean, every Black woman that I know or every Black woman that I've come in contact with, we do this on a regular.
Yes. So I actually made a point because I used to do it, but like kind of scaredly do it. Scaredly is a word, but I was nervous to do it.
Right.
Please don't touch that. Thank you. So, but lately, the past few months, I've said, I'm going to tell people when I think they're pretty.
Right.
I'm going to tell somebody when I think something's good about them. And then, all better. I'm going to tell people when I think that they look good. So, like, the other day we were out and I told this girl, I was like, hey, I don't know if this is weird for you, but I think that you are so pretty.
Right.
Like,
absolutely.
Just very natural. And she was like, oh, thank you so much.
It's like the girl who gave you the compliment in the nail shop.
Yes. Told me my skin looked good like I'm a dermatologist, girl. I was flawless. Like, ooh.
Woke up flawless.
Yes. So I was like, that's nice. And when I enjoy that, because I don't think words of affirmation is technically my love language. Like I took the test, but
I didn't take the test, but I know what mine is.
I took the test before, but it does still feel good. Like just because something isn't your main love language doesn't mean you can't enjoy the effects of it.
That's
anyway.
Right. Of anyone else's.
Yeah. So I like when somebody tell me I look good.
Yeah. It boosts you up.
It give you the big head a little bit.
I mean, if I'm being honest, I appreciate it, but I don't really need nobody to tell me.
Because you think you just confident.
I think I'm the bomb.com. I don't even know if people say that, but I really think I'm the stuff. I have a very high sense of self-worth for myself. Maybe
that's lovely.
Maybe borderline. I don't know. And I appreciate it. I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Now my husband's is physical touch.
Yeah. Now see, I will tell you, mine is quality time and then acts of service.
Yes, mine is acts of service.
Williams is physical touch.
Yeah, I care nothing about the rest of them. Acts of service. I mean, so serious.
Like, please do some chores.
Yes, and
we'll get to that.
I also wonder if the same way, like two people have opposite personalities, if their personality is closely tied to their love language, and if that also you understand, like when you meet someone and you're like. And they like to touch, because my husband, he's physical touch, and mine is not. And it's like, figure out how to do that.
Yeah, you do have to compromise.
Yes.
But, okay. Number two, look at us. We're moving along, guys. We're doing it today.
Quality time.
Quality time.
Quality time is a love language focused on presence and shared experience. People who value the language feel loved when someone chooses to be fully with them without distraction or rushing. The key part is not the activity itself, but the sense of togetherness that comes from undivided attention. Quality time can look like an evening conversation with phones put away, a walk where you are genuinely listening to each other, or a simple routine that keeps you connected. It may also involve doing hobbies together or setting aside certain times for closeness. These moments build emotional security because they show that the relationship is a priority.
Yes.
Yes.
Now
The
that's why I
relationship
like
being a
quality
priority.
time.
Yes.
Because it's not just about the physical touch, but it could be physical touch can be weaved into quality time.
Yes. All of these I
Like,
think are intertwined.
they can be intertwined. But like I just enjoy thinking or knowing that you thought enough about me to
Right.
say like, oh, I know she likes to spend time with me.
Yes.
And even being like, hey, we're gonna sit on the couch at the same time.
That's right.
We could be doing two different activities, but we're
together.
we're together.
Yes.
Like we might be cuddling, we might be doing whatever, or like we've decided to watch these shows together. So
Yes.
I'll come downstairs. Like we watched Murder She Wrote.
Oh yeah, the old
For
school
whatever
shows.
reason, we decided to watch it, and so the next day I don't know if you ever watched Murder She Wrote, but you should.
Fantastic. You
Yes.
should watch it.
Jessica Fletcher out here solving all the murders, but the first episode is a two-parter.
I was going to say, no, her last name is Lansbury, but that's her real
That's
name.
her real name.
That's her real name.
So we watched the first episode, and then the next day I come downstairs, and he got the next episode, the second episode queued up.
Already ready.
After like the kids were in bed, he ready. Like we done the thing, got everybody down, and I was like, that's what I'm talking about, quality time.
I think around the pandemic and a little bit afterwards, I love watching television. My husband isn't necessarily a big TV watcher, but I want to say it was during that time. Might have been a little bit after, but the Last Days of Ptolemy Gray. Mm-hmm. It's on Apple. Oh my God! If you have not seen it, you have absolutely need to see it. Samuel L. Jackson.
It's something.
Chef kiss.
Always.
But he was like, let's watch that, and because I was watching it, and he was like, what is this? And I was like, you are going to love it. I think it's only like 3 or 4 episodes, but they're really, really long. And he watched, and he was like, there's no more episodes. And
That's what I can't stand.
Yes.
William watches shows all the time, and I'll get caught up in it when he's watching it.
And it might be just one season.
And there might be one season, and I'm like, and then it's leaving you on a cliffhanger, and then and he has a habit of finding good shows that never get a second season.
Yes. I absolutely
and I'm like,
do that.
I can't handle this. I want to watch something that's already fully out, so I don't have to worry that I'm not gonna know what happens at the end of the episode.
I don't have that problem. I don't
like that. I don't like being left being like, well, who did they die?
You need to imagine what could happen.
I want the person who wrote the story to tell me. But anyway, quality time.
Quality time.
So watching TV can be something that is quality time if y'all both enjoy the thing that you're doing.
Right.
So, and it's not, I don't think quality time itself is about doing things that your partner likes that you don't like.
Right.
I think it's about y'all
Just
finding
being together.
being together, doing whatever y'all both like together, but figuring out, hey, let me carve out this time for this person and be thoughtful enough to say, hey, we're going to do this together.
To show them I love them as much as they love me.
Yes,
and I'm pouring into them. I'm helping fill their cup.
Right. It could even be we reading the book together, but we're together and we're doing it at the same time, and it's fine.
Right, and I think a lot of times when you're with your love languages, you help that person find out something about themselves that maybe they didn't necessarily know. Like, and I say that in the activities that you share to do. Like my husband, he doesn't watch TV a lot. Like if he does, it's just simply like to kill time to break up his mind while he's studying or doing something like that. Studying the Word of God.
He's always studying the Word of God.
Yes, he is always studying the Word of God. You know, find you a man to stay close to the Lord. And if they don't treat the Lord right, they ain't gonna treat you right. That's a side note. Just let you know.
Just so you know.
Just so you know. But you know, when we started watching the show, and then there was a couple other shows that we watched, he was like, I was like, oh, he enjoys this. And he was like, you need to find more shows like that. So it wasn't necessarily that he didn't like watching television. He just feels like, you know, doesn't have time. He was like, I need to find things that are going to intrigue me, that's going to pull me in.
Yes.
And then we watched another show that was silly. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a song like a TV show almost like Glee where they sung.
Oh,
and
okay.
I think it's Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. I watch a lot of shows that have nothing to do with each other. Right now, I'm on a lot of Asian dramas, Chinese short dramas, J-dramas.
My kid went that side note. My kids went with her for a day, and then my kid comes home, Jackson, the older one, comes home talking about, can we listen to Chinese music? Can you add some Chinese music to the playlist? Because I have a kids playlist in the car, so you don't have to keep asking me, can you play this song? Can you play that song? No, it's on the list. And it gets on shuffle.
Right.
And I was like, no, I'm not adding Chinese music to the playlist.
I
said, why? He was like, Satin listened to it. And she's like, well, it was Japanese music.
Yeah, it was Japanese music.
But to my son, shit was Chinese music. And I said, well, you can listen to that when you go with Satin. Okay.
Now, you know, the radio station, it shuffles, so it goes to Korean, it goes to K-pop, it goes to all of it, you know. You might think you know me, and you never know enough about me.
No, because you would think that she was too hood to be listening to Korean music, to K-pop.
Hey, man, you got to listen to all of it. You got to be well fleshed out individual. So you can know how to code switch and maneuver in between all kind of life situations.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Get in where I fit in.
Get in where you fit in.
All right,
okay.
3.
We're actually moving fast today.
We are. Receiving gifts.
Receiving gifts. Receiving gifts is a love language centered on thoughtfulness, represented through items. It is not about materialism or expense. It is about the meaning a gift carries and the message behind it.
Oh,
A
that's
gift
good.
in this language is a symbol that a person was remembered and valued. A
Yes.
favorite snack brought home, a small item that reflects an inside joke, or a simple bouquet can feel deeply loving to someone who prioritizes this language. Even a handmade card can be significant because it shows time and intention.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
Because I think people think that if they received gifts, you got a gift? Oh! Come on in,
Right
boo.
on cue,
Come
right on
in.
cue, right on cue.
What you got me? Get your face in the camera. Ooh, you got me candles.
See, look, receiving gifts. Look at the Lord showing up. Ooh,
I know, right? Pink lavender and espresso.
that smells delicious.
It does smell good. I don't even like coffee,
I do. I mean, I like the
but
smell
that
of
smells
it.
good.
It
Thanks,
does
babe.
smell good. Yes, right as we're talking about receiving gifts.
Just walked in the door.
Look at our
some
gift.
candles.
Yes.
Thanks, boo.
You like candles?
I do like candles.
Oh, okay. Well, I know to get you some.
I just
gifts then.
discovered that though.
Oh,
So
okay.
he bought candles for himself.
I was about to say,
a
because I
lot.
don't think I've ever known that you. Known
No,
that you like
see, and
candles.
that's another thing when you talk
Yes.
about discovering something based on your partner.
That's
so like
right.
he likes candles, and when he lights them, I'm like, that smells pretty good.
That smells
That
nice.
smells delicious. So I tend to like the ones that smell like linen, like a linen
Oh, okay.
scent.
Yeah, the clean,
Or like
fresh scent.
lemon,
Yeah.
kitchen.
I love
things like
lemon
that.
scented things.
I do, and I like lemon food. I like a lemon bar. I like a lemon.
I mean, it's all right. My husband likes lemon food.
okay. We're not gonna do this because
Yeah, we're not gonna do. You know, you're right. We're not gonna.
I
do
like
it.
a lemon cake.
This is side note. It's just about candles. I have a cousin that she makes candles. I don't know if she still does, but she does a lot of times. And it's Smile Candles. You can find her on Facebook. Her name is Madia Mosley. But she does them. And I want to say 1 year for Christmas, I probably bought quite a few, maybe like 10, 15 candles. And my intention, had very pure good intentions, was to give them for gifts. However, after smelling caramelized praline and peppermint.
Ooh, you kept them for yourself.
Man, I kept them for myself. I mean, it was a move. I
kept the
gave
gift.
stuff to people. I gave them
But
stuff.
not those.
But not the candles. Not the candles.
Dang.
And I'm not even a big candle person, but they just smell so delicious. And one of them was coffee or latte or whatever, and I love
Yeah.
the smell, so I put it in the kitchen, and I would kind of just
Claude.
I would just kind of
dog making noise.
light it and let my husband smell it because he likes coffee or whatever. But yeah, that was the intent. That's a side note. I just had to plug that because we were talking about candles.
Yes, but
Yes.
Receiving gifts. So a
Receiving
lot
gifts.
of people will think that if your love language is gifts,
Yes.
that you just materialistic and I want you to buy me the most expensive thing
Right.
that you can find, and if you don't, then I'm not appreciating it. Like that's not that.
Yes.
That is just being materialistic
Right.
and ungrateful.
Right, that's a
is what
gold
that
digger.
is. That she
I ain't
messing
saying
with
she
it.
a gold digger. She ain't messing with no broke. Side note, we had a comment on our YouTube page that said we randomly breaking the songs.
We can't help it.
Let me clarify this. It's not random.
They're always based on something that we
Yes,
said.
they're already locked and loaded. It is built
It's
in
just there.
here. It's built
Just
in
there.
here.
And you don't even like songs that you don't even think you know
Yes.
until somebody says a word and you're like, ooh,
It just triggers
I
it.
got a song for that.
Yes, you got a song for that.
But okay, receiving gifts. So
Yes.
like it said, bringing their favorite snack home, just bringing something to them that they like,
That's right.
or giving them something that you've thought of is good enough for somebody that likes gifts.
That's
It is
right.
it is the fact that they want to be on your mind.
That's right.
Like if you walked by the store and you were like, oh, you know what? I'm in the area and she likes a specific chocolate that I can
Yes.
only get right here at this store.
Right.
Why would I just walk past it and not
Right.
get it for her? Because I always think about her. You know
That's
what I mean?
right,
Like
yeah.
you would go ahead, and I say her, but him. Like if I was walking somewhere for William and I'm like, hey, oh, he loves this stuff. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna make sure I get it for him because I'm in the area. Like
Yeah.
why would I not?
No, why would I not? Just
Because
think
he's
about it.
always at the top of my mind
Yes.
when I'm doing things.
Yeah, my husband, he went out last night. He had to make a run, and he came back, and he had a bag, and I was like, what's this? And he was like, you didn't ask for it. He said, you probably don't even want it. And he opened it up, and it was like some cream soda, because I like cream soda, like the old-fashioned kind, in the bottles, made with pure cane sugar or whatever.
I won't yuck your yum though. I won't yuck your yum.
Yuck your
Enjoy.
yum. That's new.
Yeah,
Right there.
I tell my kids, don't yuck my yum.
Yes, that is
Because you don't like it,
that's
don't
right.
mean I shouldn't like
when you eating something, it's like,
Ugh, why are you doing that?
Close
That's
your
rude.
eyes while I'm eating.
That's
then.
real rude.
But yeah, he brought me something, and he does that quite often. He went like he goes to the store every day just because he thinks of something that we might need or whatever. And again, that's his love language is just to try to make sure that you already have. And he brought, I love these sumo oranges. These things are huge.
They are big.
They are delicious. And he brought me one of those, and he's like, you might don't even want it. And he always says that because a lot of times I'll send him very specifically what I would like or what I want and whatever I need or whatever. And I'll send him pictures. And the other day I was asking him because I wanted to make me a lox sandwich. Lox sandwich is just lox, which is like fish or salmon and capers.
I did know that with
the cream cheese and dill. Yes. I'm weird again. The more you think you know.
Smoked salmon is cool.
Yes, yeah.
William got me on the smoked salmon
yeah.
on our honeymoon on the cruise.
Oh, it's delicious. It's delicious. I eat salmon all the time. But he went to the store and I sent him pictures because he was like, "You need anything?" And I was like, "Yeah, I was thinking I want this." And I sent him pictures. And he was looking around and he said, where I thought this was not where it was. So I'm glad you sent me pictures because then I showed the woman, I was like, look, this is what I need. But that, you know, it was just that kind of thing. And then he brought me home extra stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, I need that. Now sometimes he brings me home extra stuff.
And you like, I didn't need all that.
And I'm like, I feel, and this is another thing about the love languages, not to feel obligated by somebody else's love language. Or if it's quality time or acts of service, like if it's something that is going to be too much for you, vocalize that and communicate that. And that's something like, because he is a giver and he does want to make sure that I have, you know, something nice or whatever. He brought home some like Oreo cookies or something like that. And I was like, I love Oreos, but I don't want any Oreos. And I feel pressured to eat them because I don't like to waste food. Yeah. And he was like, no, don't feel pressured. I'll take them to my job.
Like,
and
somebody will eat them.
Yeah, I know somebody that'll eat them and take care of it. So he does take that pressure off of me because he knows, because I've communicated to him that sometimes I feel pressured to receive things that maybe I don't have the capacity to do that.
Communication is definitely a must in a marriage.
Yes, absolutely. And also,
it can be hard though, but we'll talk about that on a different episode.
Also, the love languages they're not just for romantic relationships.
Right.
Although the author of this book, which his name is Gary Chapman, if you want to check out the book itself, it's not just, I think his intent was before married couples who were going through marriage counseling, but you can also apply it to romantic, familial,
platonic friendships. Yeah. Because like one of my friends, she is not into physical touch.
Yes.
Right? It's a little bit of trauma. So we've been working on that. I don't need her to be okay with physical touch, but I told her like, you should be all right with somebody that you really care about hugging you. Yeah. And she was like, huh.
Let's work through that trauma together.
Let's talk about that. Like, because she didn't get hugged a lot when she was younger, so she doesn't even understand. I was like, if you let somebody that cares about you hug you. Now, I'm not talking about anybody at the grocery store just giving you a hug.
Right.
But you let somebody that cares about you hug you.
Right.
After about, I think it's either 20 seconds or 30 seconds, you release hormones of happiness.
You do. You absolutely do.
So it makes you feel good to hug somebody for longer than a quick church pat.
Right. How you doing?
Like it makes you feel good to hug somebody that cares about you in that way.
Yes.
And I told William that one time, and he was like, "All right," because I'd be hugging him for a long time, and he'd be like, "Okay,
all right, that's enough. That's enough." Right. Now it still kind of throws me back a little bit when
it's y'all trauma bonded people.
It
is. It's the trauma of it all.
It really
is. You grew up without the love. And I grew up with my parents always hugging me. I used to sit in my dad's lap. Like I probably would still go sit in my daddy's lap if I felt like I wasn't gonna hurt his legs. Right. But like, and if he see this, he gonna be like, "Hurt my legs, girl." What?
Well, see, my
I can still pick you up.
I think my family's love is different. You know, it is. It wasn't physical touch, and it definitely wasn't words of affirmation. And it wasn't quality time.
Quality time?
No, it wasn't quality time. But they show up in other ways. It's more. Okay. It's more so like. I might say something bad about my brother, but you can't say anything bad about your brother. You know, about my brother. You know what I mean? So they are those kind of people.
So you're ready to fight.
Right. If you're knocking and you bucking. If you're knocking, you bucking, you ready to fight.
Yeah. So if
you're knocking and bucking, then my family is the family you need to have, you know. And that translates in the natural sense to the spiritual world where, you know, you become a great warrior and you are able to withstand a lot in warfare. You also have a lot of discernment. You're a watcher, so you watch out for a lot of things. And of course, in the natural sense, that can, you know, have a flight or fight response, and your response is always to fight. Yeah. But I mean, this is a side note. When I worked at a place, we did a active shooter drill. They didn't tell all the locations that we were doing an active shooter drill. They just said that at some point over the course of whatever.
You tried to fight the shooter.
I did. First of all, it was professionals that came and taught us, and they taught us like 3 or 4 months in advance. And they was like, what to do, and
until they showed back.
They all recommended that you hide, run, you know, try to figure out a way to get. Don't leave, because if you leave, there might be shooters at multiple locations. Your situational awareness, and then I was like, I already know what I'm gonna do. I don't care what none of they talk about. And so this was like 3 months later, and they came, and it wasn't the same people, but they. You know, it was a company that they hired to come in and do it, and we didn't know. And I was knucking and bucking with him. Knucking and bucking. I was dragging them all through that office. And I don't know what they called to say that it was a pause or whatever. The rest of them was hiding. They were like, whoa, this is a drill. Y'all better let somebody know.
You better let somebody know.
You better let somebody know it's a drill, but you know.
Oh, man.
So that is my family's love language.
Love language.
Yeah, knucking and bucking.
So that's the 6th love language.
Yeah, that's knucking and bucking.
Well, listen, we actually did pretty good on time. Do we want to go ahead and do the 4th and the 5th one?
We can. What time is it?
We only been in this 25 minutes.
Oh, well, yeah, we got some time.
We're going to do this.
We working it out.
We are. We figuring it out, guys. And we appreciate y'all being along for the ride. You're going to be able to say, I knew them when.
Yes.
When we blow up.
So
y'all the first ones. Okay, so acts of service.
Yes.
Acts of service is a love language based on actions that help or ease another person's life.
Yes.
People who value this language feel loved when someone takes practical steps to care for them. Examples include making a cup of tea when someone is tired, taking on a household task without being asked.
Girl,
without should have been in capital, bold, underlined, italicized letters. Helping with a stressful errand or noticing what needs doing and stepping in.
Right. Let me tell you something. For every mother that is home or works and wears multiple hats, acts of service, yes.
Yes.
Top tier, number one thing. And it's the doing it without me asking.
Yes, so we didn't always understand this, and I am not the best communicator, which is a problem when it comes to a marriage. Yeah. I'm not the best communicator, but I've been trying to work it out, and we've had a discussion about like acts of service being my thing. So not just lately. It's been a while. It's been some time. You know how we always be like the other day? But it could have been a year ago.
The other day, it could have been a year ago.
So it's been a while. But so like now, because I was in charge of the laundry. Right. So like he did other things, but I was in charge of laundry. So he just wouldn't even and because he's a little bit ADHD himself, that wasn't part of his plan. Yeah. He didn't. It was not that he was like looked at it and said, "Oh, I'm not doing that because it's hers."
Right.
It was not in his plan of things to do, and it just went over.
Right.
So now he puts things in his head that I'm doing, and makes it his business to do it as well. Right. So like I go down there to go, I'm like, oh, I forgot about the the clothes in the dryer, and I go down and they're already out, and probably folded. And the next whatever is in the dryer. Like he thought about it, heard it, that it stopped, and knew I was doing laundry, and just thought about it. Right. Whereas before he just wouldn't have, because it wasn't his thing. Right. He was like, I'm gonna do this and you do that. Right. So and now we both help each other out. And it works together. Yeah.
And I think a side note to that is also men, if you are watching this, if you do an acts of service for your wife without them having to tell you, you step in and you take off the pressure of them and you release the physical stress for them, there is a connection that comes between you and that spouse that some of the things that you may have want in the way of physical touch.
I was gonna say you might get the physical touch.
You might get the physical touch that you want for, and that's not because that's their way of repaying you back. When you release a stress from a woman's life, because we are very in tune with our emotional, and we live in our heads and we live in our hearts. A lot of those times it releases that pressure and it releases that ability to be able to not have to focus on the everyday tasks or the menial, what we might see menial or repetitive tasks. And so we get to the point where we're like, okay. And it gives us the opportunity to return back to who we were before we got married, or before kids, or before the children, before the stress.
Because you start to the more people you add to the house, the more stressful things become, and the more you're like, okay, I need a partner that's going to help me with this.
Right, and the communication definitely needs to be there. And if you start off on shaky grounds, it can always be an issue. And I think
it can.
In any marriage or in any relationships, you're meshing two people. You're having two people from individual lives that have lived 20, 30 years or whatever backgrounds, and you're trying to make those become one. So you're two to try to become one, and that takes a lot of hard work.
It does.
And marriage isn't hard work, but the meshing of people requires someone to be attentive. And my love language is acts of service.
Yes.
I genuinely
enjoy.
Yes, I genuinely wholeheartedly enjoy being an asset to someone else's. And it's not hard for me to receive gifts, but I believe, and I have been told even more recently, just like on yesterday, that because I have been such a giver, that where that insight or that ability to be able, like, okay, I'm going to cut somebody off or whatever, comes because I recognize after they have shown me a pattern that they're not going to be able to give me, not necessarily the same I give them, but even whatever in their capacity, to be able to give.
Making any effort towards giving you anything. They're, like I said earlier, they take and never give anything. Right. So I definitely love to be an acts of service, and I believe in the kingdom of God. That's a lot of people, the acts of service is, to see the joy and to see, I mean, I think we mentioned it either in the first or second episode
well, we were talking about me being a bully. I am very well happy to be behind the scenes and pushing someone forward, and that includes acts of service. You know, if you're starting something, I'll help you get the foundation to start it, as long as I don't have to be up front. Yeah.
And look at you now in the
Look
front.
at me, up front.
In the front. Okay, the last one.
Physical touch. Physical touch is a love language rooted in affection and closeness through touch. It includes intimacy, but is not limited to it. Many people with this language feel loved through everyday contact that communicates warmth and safety. Holding hands, a hug at the end of the day, sitting close during a film, we discussed, or a gentle touch on the shoulder can be very meaningful. These moments offer comfort and connection, especially during stress or sadness. Touch becomes a quiet way of saying that someone is wanted and cared for.
Yes, and as the thing is, for people that say that they don't like to be touched, physical touch is something that humans need.
Yes.
In general, like they've done studies on babies, like not holding them and things like that. Like it's bad for their brain development.
Right. I think there's even I mean, I don't know where it was, but I read an article years ago, and it was about a group of older ladies that volunteered for a hospital, and for kids that were born prematurely and kids that didn't have like family or whatever. They would come in and give them skin to skin touch and help bring their vibrancy. Also,
Jaden was in the NICU.
That's
and
right.
They had this woman came up to me and was like, "Is Jaden your baby?" And I looked at her. She looked at me.
How you know my baby?
And I was like, I just looked at her. Like, literally, we're in the elevator together. I'm just looking at her like,
how you know my baby?
I'm already, nervous that my kid is here without me some hours during the day or whatever. Right. And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm one of the volunteers." And I said, "Oh, okay, yeah, Jaden, my baby."
Yeah, he's my baby.
What do you mean?
There was an episode on Grey's Anatomy, and I don't know all the characters, but I think his name is Karev. Yeah. And there was a baby that was failure to thrive, and he did skin to skin. See,
and they perked up.
Watching TV, let me tell you something.
It'll get you.
It'll get you. If you make everything you watch and do and have the Lord at the center of it, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
You'll be able to find the lesson of the Lord in everything.
Yes, you will.
Absolutely.
But I've thought about going to be, because they call them like kangaroo care.
Yeah.
And I've thought about doing that because it did make me sad when I would go see Jaden at the hospital, and there would be kids that like I never got to see their parents. I don't know if they were coming at night, but like I would be there for hours during the day and their parents weren't coming.
Right.
Or like some of the babies there that were, substance abuse type babies, and then nobody was coming to see them because they couldn't. Right. So I was just like, oh, I want to go hold the baby.
Right. And they may have a program like that. At the hospital.
The little old people do it. And I'm like, I want to do it before I was thinking like I'm gonna do it when I retire, but like I can do it.
You can do it now.
I can do it now. Well, I don't really have time, but I would love to go and just hold the babies and give them some skin to skin and like just they just want some warmth.
Yeah, I'm on the outside looking in. I appreciate y'all doing it, but it ain't gonna be me.
I love it.
I mean,
I'd love to do it.
It's great. I mean, I understand the significance of it and the importance.
And it does. Yeah, it's very important to their development, to their growth, to their health. Like it's good for it'll like skin to skin lowers babies' blood sugars.
Yes.
Or like regulates their blood sugars and their temperature and things like that. So it's super helpful. But I get that. But like physical touch for adults, I think like my kids, I think Jackson is probably a physical touch person. Yes. Whereas Jaden just wants to sit next to me. So I'm going to give him quality time. Right. Yeah, you give him quality time. And actually, Jackson, it might be tied with words of affirmation. Yes. Because he likes to know that you love him. That you love him, that you're proud of him, that he did a good job. And I have been trying to get him to take some of that internally instead of it always being extrinsic motivation for him to do stuff. I'm like, hey, how did you feel about your performance? Right. Are you proud of yourself? Right. And then I'll say, yeah, I'm proud of you too. Up. Yes. Like after he tells me that he's proud of himself or he's not, and I'll say, well, why not? Like then we explore it. But he does the words of affirmation. He enjoys such. We raise no self-actualized, independent children. Yes, that's what I'm trying to work towards. Right. Y'all, today is his birthday. I know y'all gonna see this on Friday, but today is Monday when we're recording this. Yes. And today is his birthday, and he's 9. He is 9. You have an old baby. My baby's 9, y'all. But it's okay. It's all right. You kept him alive for 9 years. I kept him alive for 9 years. Okay, I'm doing something right. Now, my youngest, her love language is physical touch and words of affirmation. She ran up on me at church and like gave me a big old hug. Yeah. I was like, ooh. She is genuinely a physical touch, and I tell people that she's joy personified. She is. She literally is joy personified. She's always smiling, and she's very in tune with emotion. She's very empathetic. She's an empath through and through, and that's why I think her strength comes from physical touch, is because she feels what someone else feels through intently, and she's able to like, okay, well, I have this joy, I have this
power inside of me. And I don't think that she's completely in tune with it. Of course, she's not. She's, fairly young, but it's something that she already knows that God is already equipped inside of her, and she's already operating in that gift, and she has been. Since
she is definitely she's going to be a little woman of God.
Yeah.
She is something.
She's absolutely. She's been telling me since the day she was able to say some words, Mama, the right and the wrong of the things. So she has the strengths of both me and her dad. Yeah. Also, there is a minister or a leader at your church whose physical touch is super healing. Now, I won't say their name just for privacy.
It is lovely.
Yes.
When you hug her.
Life coach, I'll say that. Yeah. Life coach, her hugs, her physical touch, her warmth is something. It's literally something to be studied. It can literally heal you. And I think
melt, you cry. Right. You feel a release after you hug her. You know, it's got to be the God that she has in her. Yes. Because even my friend that I was talking about earlier that does not like physical touch, she likes to hug her.
Yes, I'm telling you, the gifting, and it's
without problem, without an issue, she will hug her without thinking like, oh, I don't know.
Well, see, it's a comfort, it's a safety, and I think that's part of what the physical touch is, and it's a safety and a comfort that comes from someone who already operates in that gifting. And I also
you feel protected.
Protected, like with children when they're first young, when they're little, or even when they're babies. People always say kids know your true intentions. And kids can feel that the same way animals can. And so a lot of times when you see kids, it's more so. Some of it is, I don't know you, you're a stranger, you're not. But the other part of it is they can sense your spirit man.
Yes.
And feel who you are. And so they don't necessarily attach to other people, and they don't necessarily allow other people to come in their space.
True. And because my kids are like that. Jaden and Jackson.
Yes.
They were both more so like maybe not attached because they went to daycare and stuff. So they understood that they had to go with other people.
Right.
But like when we were home and they were with me, they would not go to other people readily. Right. Like they will eventually, like if you stay in their space long enough. But
Jackson would. Now, Jackson and Jaden, my husband is a child
I was just about to say.
Yes.
So it was him that got him. So like every time the first time he met these kids, they just
fell into him. Like,
and laying. I was like, what?
Yes.
What's happening right now? They love him, and it's not like because they hear and they feel his spirit.
Right.
That is just so calming, and it's the presence of that man is amazing. And
his name means man of peace.
Of course it does.
Yes, of course it does. His name means man of peace, and he genuinely lives up to what his name is. You know,
them kids laid on him like he was one of them, like me or their daddy.
We were talking about names. We were talking about people naming their kids after people in the Bible. Let me tell you something, people.
You got to be careful.
This is a side note. Every name in the Bible is not a virtuous name. Just because you see it in the Bible don't mean you need to name your kids that. You name your kid,
you wouldn't name your kid that, would you?
You would definitely not do that. And so when you name your kid, I say this because his name means man of peace. His parents really hit the nail on the head when they named him. You know, in his presence, in his atmosphere. And so I say that in terms of sometimes when you name your kids, you destine them to a life of something.
Yes.
You know, that was the whole point in biblical names is that you name them. That's why the prayer of Jabez is what it is because he was birthed out of pain. He was birthed out of, and so when you have a child and you connect with them, you're naming them something of quality and of substance, and you can always, and you can determine a kid's destiny by that. You can determine what their love language is. You can determine how they are, and so anyway, that was a side note. I just had to say that. Be careful about how you name your children.
Be careful.
Right.
So determining your own love language.
Yes, determining your own language.
Discovering your love language is about understanding. Oh, goodness. The thing is jumping. Yeah. Understanding the kind of care that feels most meaningful to you. This awareness helps you communicate your needs more confidently and recognize what matters most to your partner, too.
Yes.
So a lot of people will treat someone else based on their love language.
That's right.
So like mine is quality time, but if yours ain't,
that's right.
I'm not going to say, oh, let me just work on spending quality time all the time with her. When yours is acts of service.
Right, and then you get offended when it's not appreciated.
Yes, you can't get offended when somebody doesn't appreciate what you knew they didn't want in the first place.
Right, that's
because you want it doesn't mean that they want it.
That's right.
And not just, like I said, not just your relationship, your platonic and familial and everybody else's relationships as well. Don't try to give somebody something that you want when you know that they don't want it.
That's right.
Not that they don't want it, but they're not into it as much as you are.
Yeah.
So you have to pay attention and focus on what the other person likes, or you could take this test. There's a test for the 5 love languages, but you notice like what makes you feel cared for. Notice what makes them feel cared for. What makes them light up when you do it for them. Like he brought me them candles because he know like I enjoy that. You thought about me.
You thought about me.
That's really what I wanted for you to think about me, and he did.
Right, exercising or being in tune with the love languages and whatever your love language is, I think will cause you to become closer with the person. It should. I mean, it should. instantly cause you to become closer with someone. It should open up the lines of communication. It should help strengthen your relationship. It should help point out even the weaknesses that you may have in your relationship and how to grow those things. It's so much more than just knowing what your love language is, just so that you can express that to someone, or someone can express it to you, or that you can be a receiver of those and a giver of others, to be able to feel like you've imparted something in someone and they've imparted it in you. It should be so connective that it causes your bond to grow stronger. And it causes to recognize the weaknesses. Look at that.
Wasn't that good?
Look at that.
Clock it.
Clock it. It's the second one, ain't it?
I don't know, child.
I don't know.
I'm old.
I'm too old for that, too.
But that was lovely.
It is lovely.
Look at us.
Look at us. So it says, notice what makes you feel most cared for. Pay attention to the moments when you feel genuinely loved and valued, because these experiences often points towards your strongest love language. And again, these are ways to discover what your love language is. So the first one is, notice what makes you feel most cared for.
Yes.
Knowing, you might not know exactly what your love language is, but making note of the small things that bring you joy, that bring you excitement, that bring you fulfillment. And once you make a note of those, and this is a side note as well, but once you know who you are, then you're able to tell other people who they are.
Yes.
And that's another problem with relationships, in any type of spectrum, friendships, familial, romantic relationships, is that when you don't know who you are and you're trying to bond or connect with someone else, then you end up having a lot of miscommunication and issues, because you don't know who you are, so you can't tell them and you can't express your true self.
Can't express yourself.
And they get a version of you who's not necessarily self-actualized or realized, and you're not able to express, oh, well, that was just a part of what I'm going through. I'm still learning myself. But knowing who you are will also help in discovering your love language.
It does. Notice what feels most painful when it's missing. Look at the situations where you feel overlooked or disconnected, because the absence of your main love language often creates the strongest emotional reaction. So when
like
you figure out,
touch,
you're thinking like, maybe I don't need the physical touch, but then when you don't get it, you're like, I'm craving touch from someone.
That's
I'm
right.
Craving
that.
a hug. I'm craving
That's
to
right.
hold hands. I'm craving some of that. So it's easy for you to figure out what you're missing.
That's right.
When it's not there, if you're paying attention and trying to figure it out for yourself.
Actively paying attention. Yes. Observe how you naturally show love to others. Many people give love in the way that they want to receive it. We just said. So your habits, such as offering praise, helping out, giving small gifts, making time, or being affectionate, can reveal your preferences.
So that basically is just like, I'm always giving you this.
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe that's because that's what I want.
That's
basically what that says.
That's it,
So that's what I want is what I've been giving you. So maybe I should figure out what you want.
Right. Like
but now I know what I want.
This whole line of treating others the way you want to be treated.
Yes.
That's right.
Okay, look for patterns rather than a single perfect match. You may relate to more than one love language, like I said.
Yes.
So focus on which one feels strongest most of the time, while recognizing that your needs can shift slightly in different seasons of life.
That is absolutely correct.
So like acts of service probably wasn't my biggest deal until I had children.
Yes.
Like I like it, but it probably, okay, I can handle this stuff by myself. It's just us.
Yeah,
in the house. I don't need you to be doing all this extra stuff when I can do it. But now when there's 2 children and somebody needs to be registered for school and somebody needs to go to practice and somebody needs this and that and the third, I need some help. I need you to figure it out, and I don't want to tell you that I need you to figure it out.
I think from my very first memory that I can have is that acts of service have always been very prominent. And I had an uncle who passed away when I was really young, and he worked in the field of social work. And actually I have a cousin that also went into that field. Acts of service is very intertwined with my family. That's why I say there are a lot of things that I may see in a different light or a negative light based off of my, view or perception, or based off of what my memory is. But my family they do have acts of service that is deeply intertwined. And I think that's a generational blessing and a generational benefit that they have. But he was an important figure in my life, and he was very impactful upon my life. And I think that acts of service has always just been genuinely intertwined with the way they give. So my family may not be vocal in the way that they express. They might not give you words of affirmation, but they will show in their acts of service. I have an aunt that loves to cook. And she will cook me meals. I do like to cook. And we fight over her potato salad. Let me tell you something. If my brother is watching this, let me tell you, I may not be the favorite, but I know you ain't the favorite no more. I know my husband is the favorite. And because my husband is my aunt's favorite now, I get access to as much potato salad as I want. I don't got to be the favorite.
You reaping the rewards.
I don't got to be the favorite. But he can be the favorite. And I can get my potato salad. You hear me? But anyway, she always cooks. When she thinks about it, just randomly, she's like, I want to cook soup. I want to do this, because she knows I love soup. She knows also that I don't eat beef. And so she'll say, okay, well, let me make, see, this I know too. Black people, when we make tomato soup, we make vegetable soup.
Vegetable soup has got beef in it.
It's got beef in it. It's got to have meat in it. Get it together, people. Yeah. It's vegetables.
It's not vegetable soup.
She'll make some with it so that the rest of my family can have it, and some without it for me.
That's very nice.
So it just
very thoughtful.
It is very thoughtful. And so there are times maybe I couldn't recognize what the love languages were in my family, but as I've gotten older and I'm able to have retrospective and look back, hindsight 2020, I can see that the act of service was very much present. And I think that is why my love language is still acts of service.
That makes sense.
It's intertwined and ingrained into who I am.
It's what you went through and what you experienced as a child.
Right, yes. And also, like this says, giving something that you don't necessarily have.
Right.
And there were times when I may have wanted certain things or wanted people to be present, and those things are what I poured into someone else.
Good. Okay, apply the same gentle observation to your partner. Ooh. Notice what they ask for, respond to warmly, or seem to miss when it is not there, because these clues often reflect their main love language.
Their main love language.
So basically, all the things they say for you to figure out yours, use it to figure out theirs.
That's right. Use it to figure out theirs, so you can pour into their lives, you can give unto them, you can fill their cup, because when they're full, when they're fulfilled, then they'll be able to not just give to you, but give to your family and give to others. And it won't be a situation where they give so much while they're in their 9-to-5 work day that when they come home, they don't have anything left.
They don't have anything left to give.
Right. So when you come home, build them up, pour into them. That's one of the things I definitely do with my relationship with my husband, is that when he comes home, I give him his time to himself, because he's with people all day long. All day long. And he needs time to himself. And my family is very much so. Everybody's in their own individual space. And so I try to give him that opportunity to just be in his own space. And it might be a day where he come home, he gives me a kiss and he says, "You need anything?" And then he goes, and I might not see him till bedtime.
Right.
And that might be when he falls asleep in his office that I come down to his office like, "Hey, babe, come to bed.
Come to bed.
Go to bed, sweetie.
Yeah.
Let's get out of this chair."
Yeah. Poor man.
Poor man. Number 6 is accept that different love languages can exist in the same relationships. Mm-hmm. Differences do not mean incompatibility, and they often explain why two people can care deeply while still feeling out of step at times. Ooh. Yeah, that's a really good thing. Yes. It's a really good foundation for marriage counseling.
It is.
And also,
you figure out your love language.
You don't need marriage counseling just because there's problems. Everyone should do marriage counseling just to be able to stay in tune with their partner.
Yep.
To help grow and mature and strengthen their relationship, especially when you have kids.
Oh, yeah, because things between the two of you get lost.
Right.
Sometimes when you have kids, because you're not thinking about it, but it helps you keep it at the forefront.
That's right. It absolutely does.
Okay. Well, listen. All right, we did it. It's been 40-something minutes. We did a good job.
We did an excellent job. Again, we talked about the 5 love languages.
We did.
And just for a recap, those 5 love languages are quality time, acts of service, receiving gifts, words of affirmation, and physical touch. And I believe we're going to try to link this article or link, again, the author of this book is Gary Chapman. This article came from the centerofexcellence.com. We want to know that these aren't necessarily our detailed thoughts. Now, we come up with the idea based off our own life experiences, but then we do the research and we find other reputable sources that have already done the deep intertwined work for us. But the 5 love languages, and then how to discover what your 5 love languages, there is a quiz online to be able to figure out what your love languages is.
It does take you a little bit of time to do, so be prepared to sit for a little bit.
We definitely implore you to be able to do so, because it will strengthen your relationships, your romantic, familial, friendly, acquaintance, personal relationships. It will help you build a better person. And,
help you discover more about yourself.
Right, and also, again, it will help you grow deeper in God and learn who you are in the kingdom of God, because your one and only purpose is to find purpose and to build the kingdom of God up.
Yep.
So thank you for joining us for this episode.
See y'all next week.
See you next week. Bye-bye.